Hello everyone, animals never cease to amaze. More and more stories of friendship between different species are constantly appearing. Our smaller brothers show incredible ingenuity to get goodies, adapt to interact with people and perform funny actions. And in hopeless situations they rely on human help. We present to your attention the incredible moments with animals captured on camera. Friendship between animals of different species always causes surprise and delight. On these frames, the hawk decided to hunt a chicken, but did not expect that he would be in such a friendly yard. As soon as the predator grabbed his prey, the goat rushed to the aid of the chicken and forced the hawk to abandon his plans. And here, a motorist, standing at a traffic light, took an interesting picture. A man walks on a leash, not a shaggy dog, but a flying goose. In Spain, there is an interesting national custom called encierro, the essence of which is to run away from the bulls released into the streets of the city. These guys thought that by hiding in the car they could safely watch what was happening, but they were at the epicenter of events. The bull easily lifted their heavy SUV on its horns, making onlookers sitting in the car pretty nervous. The rat, running away from the cat, and realizing that there was no escape from this clever hunter, chose a different tactic. She hid, climbing onto the wheel of the car, hoping that the cat would not notice her. The cat really lost the trail, but the smell of the rat suggested that she was somewhere nearby. In the end, the cat still found and grabbed the rat. You won't surprise anyone with cruise control cars, but a dog-controlled motorcycle is something new. This dog does whatever he likes on his steel horse. In different countries, the idea of fishing is different. For some it is to sit with a fishing rod on the shore, and for someone to pick a dry river with a stick, where fish remained in the mud. Bears living in the neighborhood of people know that you can always get food from bipeds, so it is not uncommon for them to leave the forest in search of food. If you do not respect the bear with goodies, it can even drive it onto a birch. The seagull, having tasted the chips scattered on the beach, did not wait until luck smiled at her again, but decided to act on her own. She began to visit stores to grab a pack of chips. It remains only to find someone who will help open the pack. And this crow went even further, unlike the thief seagull, and realized that people use a plastic card to take everything they want out of the store, and you no longer have to steal food in stores, though first you need to steal someone's bank card. The owner of this house for a long time could not understand where his shoes were disappearing, until one day he spotted a thief. He decided not to scare the fox, but to film her every visit. The fox liked that they didn't drive her away in this yard, and began to visit and steal shoes. And this is a leopard who has learned a valuable lesson that it is better not to mess with porcupines. Even if you manage to quickly overcome him, you still won't be able to eat calmly. You will have to pull out the needles for a long time. For sure this predator will never contact porcupines again. And these are shots from Mexico. During the flood, a small town completely went underwater. When rescuers arrived at the place, They found a Labrador who stood in the water all night holding onto the bars so as not to be washed away by the stream. Just look into those eyes full of gratitude. Visitors to one Amsterdam zoo witnessed an interesting incident. A duck flew into the lion's enclosure to swim in their reservoir. Seeing the game, the lioness immediately turned on the hunter's instinct. Hiding, the lioness chose a good moment and made her throw, grabbing the duck. Seeing the prey, the lion rushed to the lioness with cries to eat, but the lionesses united decided not to share with the king, yet not in the wild, maybe until dinner and wait. Then the funniest thing happened. Taking advantage of this fuss, the duck slipped away from the lioness. And this case happened in Canada. Due to heavy rain, the water in the river rose, but the herd of horses still somehow needs to be brought back to the farm. Having chosen the most successful place on the river, the horses were sent to the opposite bank, but the powerful sweat still knocked down several animals. Fortunately, everything ended well, and the horses safely got out of the river downstream. The next shots from a reserve in South Africa were a pair of leopards, having defeated an antelope and dragged it up a tree, thereby getting rid of competitors for prey in the form of hyenas and lions, could not divide their prey among themselves, and after a short skirmish, one of the leopards retired to next branch while waiting for another leopard to finish his meal. This dog, having heard that the mistress wants to get a cat to get rid of the mice in the house, decided to catch all the mice himself, and not risk the appearance of a new fluffy competitor in the house. This cat saw an octopus for the first time on the pier, and by smell it realized that it was something edible, but it was not clear from which side to start eating it. But another cat became interested in the octopus. She was lucky that the octopus was not big, otherwise it is not clear who else would have eaten whom. Everyone knows that it is difficult to find a dog friendlier than a Labrador. This giant is so good-natured that even little ducklings feel safe next to him. Sometimes in real-life friendship between animals can be more surprising than the stories that are shown to us from the screens in feature films. Proof of this was the story of an amazing friendship from Norway, the dog Tinny and the red fox named Sniffer. According to the owner of the dog, the story began with a sly little fox coming to their yard in search of something tasty. The dog behaved calmly, and now the fox comes to visit almost every day. They run together, frolic, swim in the river, and sometimes even sleep together, hugging each other. Thank you friends for watching to the end. Write in the comments which of the moments in this episode you liked the most, and we went to prepare a new episode of amazing moments with animals.